What is going on, everyone? First and foremost, I want to say thank you for being here right now, watching this video. I do really appreciate your time, and I would really appreciate if you do consider subscribing to the channel, simply because it truly does help me out a lot. Now, we're going to be reacting to Joe Rogan reacts to Gervonta Davis's insane knockout over Frank Martin. Man, now this fight was absolutely crazy, and I'm pretty sure, we all seen the clip right before this fight actually even happened. I'm pretty sure Gervonta Davis threw a fake punch at Frank Martin, and he pretty much flinched. You get what I mean? Pretty much proving to everyone that he's pretty much scared. You get what I mean? After that, everybody put their money on Gervonta Davis, bro. Like, Frank Martin was scared, and majority of the people, of the fans in general, basically already knew Gervonta Davis was gonna win. But overall, this fight was absolutely insane. Gervonta Davis got the knockout, and we have a lot more people than just Joe Rogan overall reacting to it. But overall, not gonna do too much talking, just gonna let the video play, then I'll share the rest of my opinion at the end.
He's a problem. He's gonna be a problem
for
bro.
Everybody.
He's gonna be a problem, bro.
Speed is bananas.
Yeah.
You ever seen him shadow box, like throw combinations?
Oh yeah, bro.
Like,
oh yeah.
Is this sped up?
Oh,
How
yeah.
are you so fast?
Yeah. It's not fair.
He might have one of the fastest left hooks I've ever.
Joe Rogan has reacted to Gervonta Davis knocking out Frank Martin, warning Tank that Ryan Garcia will beat him in their potential rematch. To some, Tank is the face of boxing, not so much to others. In any case, it's undeniable that Tank is significant. The WBA's 135-pound champion secured an 8th-round knockout of previously undefeated contender Frank Martin. For Davis, it was his 31st win in a row. This was his 6th defense in a lightweight title that dates back to 2019. Now, some reports suggest that Tank may fight Isaac Cruz next. Well, the first fight went well, so why not have another one? If this outcome leads to another fight between Davis and Isaac Pitbull Cruz, it would be a highly anticipated event. Cruz made history as the first man to go the full 12 rounds with Tank Davis when he stepped in as a late replacement for Rolando Romero in December 2021. It would be an exciting prospect if this leads to another clash between Davis and Isaac Cruz. Pitbull's manager, Sean Gibbons, told Boxing Scene, "December is perfect. We're not chasing Tank now that we have the belt, but everywhere we go, everyone wants to know when we're fighting Gervonta Davis. He'll fight, then Pitbull will fight, and we'll be ready." On the other hand, Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson reigned supreme in the lightweight division, each holding prestigious titles, Davis with the WBA belt and Stevenson with the WBC. Their dominance is reflected not just in their championships, but also in their consistently high rankings on prominent pound-for-pound lists, such as the June rankings by BR, where they often appear, side by side. It may be a great battle because they are both in their 20s and undefeated. However, since boxing is, well, boxing, there's no such thing as a guarantee. Davis is part of the Premier Boxing Champions Network, managed by Al Heyman, while Stevenson fights under Bob Arum's Top Rank banner. This makes the chances of their match happening in the near future as improbable as a snowstorm hitting South Beach. Despite this, the media continues to clamor for a showdown. Both fighters also hint that the other is a prime target on their respective hit lists. Leonard Ellerby, who serves as an advisor to Davis, told Boxing Scene, "Trust me, Shakur is going to get that work. He's asking for it, and he's going to get it. It ain't what he thinks it is. I can't wait for it to happen." Meanwhile, given that Davis has defeated Martin, who is also associated with PBC, the most probable scenario now is that Davis will remain within the PBC network. His next opponent is likely to be another previously undefeated PBC fighter, Gary Antoine Russell. On Saturday's undercard, Russell, the youngest of a family renowned for boxing prowess, sought his 18th consecutive victory. However, he faced a setback as he lost by split decision to Alberto Puello, forfeiting the WBC's interim title belt in the 140-pound weight class, one division above Davis. Previously, his biggest victories came against ex-champions Victor Postol and Rances Barthelemy in February and July of 2022. For his entire 7-year career, he has weighed between 136.5 and 139.5 pounds and has won all of his fights via knockout, but he maintains that if Davis were to challenge him, he could reach 135 pounds pounds? Russell told the Boxing Voice, "It'd be Tank. Who wouldn't want to see that? Me and Tank, that's fireworks. That's fireworks. I'm not laying down for nobody. My determination is just different from everybody else." The next potential opponent of Tank is none other than Floyd Mayweather. This allows fans, fighters, and writers to engage in direct digital confrontations, making outrageous suggestions about fantastical matchups that could only exist in the virtual realm. Initially, their bond took the form of a father-son or mentor-mentee dynamic. Over time, Davis evolved into Mayweather's prized asset, marking a significant shift for Mayweather from being a fighter to a promoter upon his retirement from boxing in 2015. Their partnership dissolved in 2021 and quickly deteriorated into a barrage of insults and jabs, escalating online during the Martin fight week as Davis cautioned potential clients about joining Mayweather's firm. Davis recently posted on Instagram, "If you sign with this fraud, he will fuck up your career." He's not a good businessman at all. Mayweather's reaction was swift as he shared a poster for the Davis-Martin fight, hinting it might be off. Meanwhile, Davis hinted at a possible showdown, with Mayweather listing him as the toughest opponent among others in an interview with Marca. He mentioned possible dates in September or November for the bout. Tank said, "He feels I'm at this point where I'll pass him, and I'm doing it at a young age." After a 14-month absence from competition due to legal issues, Gervonta Davis delivered a knockout victory over Frank Martin. After defeating Ryan Garcia, who was also undefeated, in April 2023, Tank dealt his opponent a severe blow, causing his first defeat. In addition to Mexican WBA super lightweight champion Isaac Cruz and Ukrainian IBF lightweight champion Vasyl Lomachenko, Davis is still the WBA lightweight world champion. "The most important thing is that I'm back in business, and I'm going to stay focused on what I want to do," was Tank's response when questioned about whether he would face Lomachenko or Pitbull. Meanwhile, Pitbull is already focusing on his next bout, as confirmed by his manager, Sean Gibbons. After his most recent victory, Gibbons considered the growing reputation of his boxer. He said, "Down here, it's not Beatlemania, it's Pitbullmania. People are writing songs for him and creating murals for him. It's something." According to Gibbons, Cruz will likely need to make a short turnaround for his first title defense, possibly in August. Manny Pacquiao is also hoping that the fighter continues to compete. "Manny wants activity to keep his momentum going," Gibbons added. Pacquiao is also excited about a fight in December between Cruz and Davis, which would allow Cruz to exact revenge for their first-round loss. Gibbons continued, "He's ready to fight, and the fans are ready to see him again. The fans have spoken." On the other hand, Ryan Garcia made significant accusations against Caleb Plant, the former IBF super middleweight champion, following their altercation during the Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin fight. This incident marks another chapter in their history of contentious exchanges on social media. Their feud was sparked anew when Plant lambasted Garcia and his family for their skepticism of VADA following the failed test prior to the Devin Haney bout in April. Recently, tensions flared between them on X, where Plant reiterated his position on the test failure, while Garcia took aim at Plant's wife, Jordan Hardy Plant. Following additional exchanges on social media, both individuals affirmed their readiness to face each other in recent interviews. Shortly after Davis secured a knockout victory against Martin, Plant hurled a beer at Garcia as he walked by, sparking a physical altercation. The two men were separated from one another, and the situation was quickly brought under control. Garcia used X as a platform to discuss the event and make a crude remark about Plant's girl. He said, "Caleb Plant just hit me with a beer without me looking, and then he ran. I licked your girl's pussy, and I showed you the proof." Garcia clarified in a second post that he was speaking of a different woman, suggesting that Plant was involved in an extramarital affair. He said, "I mean your side girl Caleb, the one that Jordan doesn't know about. That's bad she doesn't know." The rivalry between Garcia and Plant ignited during Sweet Hand's tenure as the IBF super middleweight champion. Garcia publicly called out Plant for allegedly dodging a bout with Canelo Alvarez, sparking a heated exchange of words on social media. Although the feud had appeared to fade away, a recent interaction on social platforms platforms has reignited tensions between them once again. In the realm of adult male disputes, an unwritten rule often excludes women. Ryan Garcia, however, seems to have disregarded this code once more. This isn't his initial transgression either. After previously commenting on George Kambosos Jr.'s wife during their feud, King Rye has now targeted Caleb Plant's wife in a similar manner, marking a repeated breach of this norm. Recently, a journalist approached him to discuss Ryan Garcia's recent social media posts, particularly those concerning his wife, Jordan Plant. The footage and dialogue indicate that the Tennessean is present at the MGM Grand Arena for the double pay-per-view headline event featuring Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez. It has been more than a year since Plant's last bout, not that there weren't any attempts at all. Perhaps in response to the slap incident from the previous year, many believed that a bout with Jermall Charlo was imminent. After Sweet Hands and Edgar Berlanga got into an open argument a few weeks ago, optimism started to grow. There isn't any concrete confirmation yet, though. Najee from Cigar Talk originally inquired about Caleb Plant's opinions regarding Kyrone Davis's victory over Elijah Garcia via split decision. Then came the million-dollar question. I saw in social media today, obviously you and Ryan were going back and forth. Does that make you feel all right, man? Ryan talking crazy and all that type of shit? Or you just kind of letting it pass? Asked Najee. Plant acknowledged that things do tend to get heated when someone drags their partner into an argument. Yeah, I mean, somebody talking about, once you start talking about somebody's wife and things like that matter, it kind of makes it a little different, he said. Caleb Plant went on, it's possible that Ryan Garcia needs some help to get back on track. He added, so at the same time he needs a lot of help and he keeps it up. I'm sure he'll get the help he's looking for. Najee acknowledged Plant seemed prepared for a confrontation, prompting Plant to assert he wasn't eager for it. Nevertheless, if it came down to it, he affirmed he wouldn't be intimidated by anyone. Garcia stated that Caleb Plant is aware of his lack of concern. The two actually got along at the Haney Bout news conference. Sweet Hands didn't back down. Ryan Garcia was reprimanded by him for returning to his security cover. King Rye had a turn. First he said, I'm going to hurt Caleb Plant physically. Then, a minute later, he followed it with Caleb Plant wife is beautiful, no disrespect, calling Mrs. Plant one of the best interviewers in boxing. Garcia then commented on her physical attractiveness. His following tweet read, Jordan Garcia, aka Jordan Plant. Another post showed a Twitter space recording titled, Jordan Plant is my wife. Some half an hour later, Ryan Garcia wrote, Caleb Plant, I personally would never let someone speak about my woman like that, but that's just me. After witnessing the heated confrontation between Ryan Garcia and Caleb Plant during their recent face-to-face encounter, fans are now on edge, wondering what will unfold next, with King Rye already stepping up to 154 pounds. To challenge Errol Spence Jr., the prospect of him venturing into the super middleweight division seems tantalizingly possible. Ryan Garcia has never shied away from bold moves, so it wouldn't be shocking if he sets his sights on a showdown with Sweet Hands in the ring. Fans can only speculate and eagerly await his next move. On the other hand, Joe Rogan has consistently yearned for bouts that hold the potential for excitement. Once more, he stepped forward to back Ryan Garcia, despite King Rye coming off a loss to Gervonta Davis. As a respected UFC commentator, Rogan contends that with proper hydration, Garcia could effectively challenge Davis again. During the latest installment of the JRE MMA show, Joe Rogan joined Max Holloway in praising Garcia's prowess, expressing a desire to witness him face Davis. However, this wasn't Rogan's inaugural show of support for the boxer. Previously, he defended Garcia against critics following his sole defeat in the ring. Rogan and Holloway delved into Garcia's left hook, marveling at its incredible speed and agility. Their discussion also limiting his post-weigh-in rehydration to just 10 pounds. Rogan said, I would love to see Ryan Garcia, the one that we saw fully hydrated against Devin Haney, against Gervonta. Even though Gervonta Davis was ideal under the prior weight clause, Rogan thought that Garcia versus Davis would be a stronger fight if Garcia was well hydrated. The UFC BMF weighed in, asserting that Tank would face challenges ahead. Rogan quickly interjected, emphasizing that these challenges would affect everyone, not just one fighter. Garcia's unmatched speed and skill have maintained his unblemished winning streak. Nonetheless, fate often reminds us not to fall prey to our adversaries' strategies. During a recent segment on the Joe Rogan Experience, Bass Rutten and the 56-year-old host delved into Garcia's bout with Davis. The blow to the liver that floored Garcia was hailed as one of the most devastating punches witnessed. Rogan concurred, emphasizing, the liver shot is brutal, absolutely brutal. By the 7th round, Garcia succumbed, prompting public scrutiny and criticism to ensue. In response to the fight fans dissing Garcia for losing to to someone below his weight class, Rogan said, "Oh my God! People were saying when Ryan Garcia went down against Tank Davis, and people were saying like he quit. Like, have you ever been hit there before?" The 25-year-old fighter refused to stay down. He confronted Haney head-on and rocked the boxing world by clinching victory over the WBC super lightweight champion by decision. Whether Garcia will challenge Davis next and seek redemption remains a mystery. Only time will unravel. However, one thing is undeniable. Rogan stands firmly behind Garcia, showing unwavering support.
Come from.
Yes.
First Thai boxing class, getting dropped by a liver shot. And I was training with a Class A fighter already, pro. And he figured me out really fast. And he dropped me with a liver shot. And I remember asking him, I go, what is this?
It's terrible.
I went home. I spent 3.5 hours in front of a mirror. 3.5 hours. My wife said, "You're insane." Only this. I was not going to drop my hands anymore. And the next day I went back to the class and I just cleaned 85% of the gym out. And they go like, they thought I played a joke on them.
We know that Gervonta Davis achieved a significant victory over Ryan Garcia. While Davis is praised for his performance in the bout, some attribute his success to a specific condition in their agreement. For their fight on April 22, 2023, Davis and Garcia agreed to a catch weight of 136 pounds. However, Davis's team introduced a rehydration clause, stipulating that both fighters could only regain up to 10 pounds after the official weigh-ins. Davis has made headlines lately due to his dispute with Floyd Mayweather Jr. The ex-boxing icon was recently detained in Dubai due to financial matters. In a recent social media update, the 29-year-old clarified that Mayweather Jr. was being held against his will for failing to meet his commitments. Despite their rivalry, Joe Rogan and Holloway acknowledged Mayweather Jr. for introducing the rehydration clause in the Davis versus Garcia bout. Rogan shared his opinion on the clause, saying, "How smart is Gervonta for making him go to 135 and then giving him a weight clause? You can't rehydrate more than 10 pounds. And for Gervonta, it was perfect." Adding to Rogan's comments, Holloway said, "Who is behind him? Who is behind him, brother? Money Mayweather. That guy is smart, bro. That guy is a businessman. These guys are businessmen, you know? Like it is the same thing." In a recent X post, Ryan called out Tank for a rematch, but he had some requirements. Garcia tweeted, "Everyone want to talk about the little stupid Tank? Let's fight. Enough of that funny talk. Come see me at 144 pounds and let's stop the talk." Although it would be intriguing to witness the two fighters face each other once more, Davis is currently occupied with intensifying his feud with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Additionally, Chael Sonnen has joined in on the rivalry. Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr. were once close companions. However, their relationship drastically changed 2 years ago when Tank departed from Mayweather's promotion, citing mismanagement of his career. Since then, they have engaged in numerous public disputes, showing no signs of reconciliation. Recently, the WBA lightweight champion took to his social media account to announce Mayweather's detainment in Dubai. He tweeted, "They got Floyd for real? Tell him I'll send him a wire." The tweet quickly drew a reaction from Chael Sonnen, a long-standing critic of Mayweather Jr. Sonnen, in his characteristic style, replied with, "How can I help?" Known as the American Gangster, Sonnen has consistently criticized the former champion, highlighting flaws in his lifestyle and openly condemning his extravagant spending. This time, however, it appears the undefeated boxer with a record of 50-0 has found himself in serious trouble. If Tank is correct in his assertions, Mayweather Jr. may require assistance. On the other hand, Ryan Garcia remains focused on Gervonta Davis. The emerging boxing star created a stir by appearing dramatically at Davis's bout against Frank "Ghost" Martin on Saturday night, reigniting speculation about a potential rematch. The MGM Grand Garden Arena was buzzing with excitement as Garcia took his seat at ringside, wearing a shirt boldly stating, "Rematch me, bitch." More than a year after their initial showdown, one of the top-grossing pay-per-view events of the year, Garcia's recent appearance has revived excitement among fans. Eagerly awaiting a rematch, his shirt conveyed a clear message. Garcia is eager for another chance against Davis. However, bringing about this rematch will pose challenges. Garcia is currently suspended for PEDs, a major hurdle he must address. Meanwhile, Davis's unpredictable nature complicates the organization of the fight even further. Despite these obstacles, there is an undeniable clamor within the boxing community for a rematch between Garcia and Davis in the 140-pound weight class. Speculation and excitement abound. Can Garcia resolve his suspension promptly? Will Davis accept the proposed terms? These pivotal questions hang in the balance as negotiations progress. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen.
But yeah, man, that is the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section, and subscribe for more content, man. But as we can see, seems like Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia are friends. You get what I mean? Y'all think this rematch is gonna happen between them, or do y'all think, you know, Ryan Garcia is still cooked? You get what I mean? Even if Tank does give him the rematch, he still might end up actually losing the fight. You get what I mean? So there's really no point. But at the end of the day, man, I do think it would be a really good fight. And a lot of people are convinced that, you know, Ryan Garcia might actually win the rematch simply because of the whole rehydration clause, things like that, right? So, yeah, man. Overall, they're both pay-per-view draws, you get what I mean? They both draw a lot of pay-per-views in general, so I do think it's going to be a good fight. And they are going to make a lot of money from it simply because a lot of people are going to tune in to the fight, man. But overall, Gervonta Tank Davis was also defending Ryan Garcia, if I'm not wrong, when he was first caught for allegedly using, you know, PEDs, when they were accusing him of using PEDs, things like that, right? Gervonta Tank Davis was, you know, standing up for Ryan Garcia, saying, nah, bro, he didn't take PEDs, things like that, right? But yeah, man, not gonna do too much talking though. Just gonna end the video here. Let me know what y'all think, man. And yeah, man, overall, the Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank Martin fight was absolutely insane. Frank Martin got absolutely knocked out, you get what I mean? And I know a lot of people were also saying it's over. It was already over before it even started. You get what I mean? Everybody could tell Frank Martin was already cooked. You get what I mean? He was scared. He was flinching. He was trying his best not to act nervous. Things like that, bro. You get what I mean? And people already caught on to those signs. You get what I mean? The body language. Things like that, right? So a lot of people placed their bets already on Gervonta Tank Davis. So majority of the people already knew Frank Martin was cooked. But overall, he did make a lot of money. You know what I mean? That's probably why he even took the fight in the first place. Even if he knew he was going to lose, he's not just going to say and admit he's going to lose. He's still going to try his best. But he did end up losing. But pretty sure the money is the only reason he took this fight. But I don't know. I could be wrong, bro. But not just going to throw accusations out in the air like that. So we're just gonna end the video here. Let me know what y'all think, and without further ado, peace out.